here. Man, what a day. Had to go into work this morning. So, got up at 5:30. Put a jacket on. And just down the road, down at some mines down here, they call fan checks. So you go and check the fans that bring the air to the surface and circulate it and all that stuff. And they're, I don't know, the fans are probably 50 feet. Huge fans, bunch of them. And so you ride around and check them, and you pull the oil samples and stuff like that, check the vibrations on it. It's a good day. And then I got finished, and it is so, I want to say it's like mid-60s right now. 3 days ago we had 3 inches of snow, and there is no freaking snow. This is just that crazy Alabama winter. But they are saying we have another freak of nature storm that is coming Wednesday or Thursday. So we're going to get more snow Wednesday or Thursday. I tell you what, thank God for global warming. Otherwise I'd have froze to death. But going to give some shout outs, do some updates, but I'm not answering the phone because they got it. Spin you around here, guys. SulphurCityDesigns.com for all of your off-road mower mudding, modding, stickage, and apparel. Good stuff. Southern Off-Road Mowers on Facebook. Go to it and post some junk, guys. Or not, but do. We'd like it if you did. Anyway, I was about to go off on a tangent. Joseph Alvord, thank you for subscribing, sir. I really appreciate it. Kiefer Klingensmith, thank you for subscribing, man. I really appreciate it. Ejet Settable, thank you for subscribing, guy. Thomas Belts, see, I did not forget about you. Aussie 9311 at Weebly.com. He's starting a channel there with pictures and information about his rides and stuff like that. I did not know about Weebly.com. It's actually kind of interesting. I may do something with it at some point in the future. I want to show you, this is also something I got today after I got off work. Lucas heavy duty oil stabilizer. This is the stuff I was talking about earlier. I put it in everything I have if it has an engine. My cars, my Durango, my minivan, all the mowers that I sell. I mean, this stuff is good. Now, you wouldn't put this completely into it. You would just add maybe an ounce or two into like a 28 ounces if you were changing the oil on a 16 horsepower V-twin Briggs. You just put in an ounce or so, and this stuff will go a long way. Hang on, let me try to get you where you can see this. The Lucas oil stabilizer, and for the quart, 32 ounces, $11.77. I don't know if you can see it. Maybe not. But we're only going to put maybe 2 ounces of it into the transaxle, because you really don't need that much. And then we're going to cycle it around. I've got the RTV silicone. Well, we're going to do 2 or 3 good glugs of it. Glug. That was a glug. Glug. And that's it. We're going to get the silicone on there, let it tack up a little bit, and get this guy sealed up. Probably not going to put it in today because I want to make sure everything sets. And I want to show you what this Lucas does. A lot of you know about it. Some of you may not. Even at high temperatures and high RPMs, you see how it's sticking to everything? It'll ruin your clothes. But this stuff will not spin off of gears. What does that mean for you? Well, it means that your shit's going to stay well lubricated. Look at that. You won't get that with just regular oil. That's why this additive is just great. Does a really good job. And I'm going to get everything kind of mixed up a little bit, but of course regular driving will mix it up as well. And from what the container says, if you do a mixture kind of like antifreeze. It actually works better than doing a straight pour. If you just did Lucas itself, it would do great, but it would do better if you did a Lucas gear oil mixture. Just the same way as antifreeze, it does better if you do a water glycerin mixture or glycol. Yeah. More to come, guys. I have lubricated the bearings, the tops of the bearings with a white lithium grease, and I have ran a bead of silicone all the way around it, and I have put on a good thick bead. If something gets into it, you know, good luck. I don't want this thing to leak, so hopefully it won't. We're going to let this guy tack up. We're going to put the cap on it and get everything bolted down in place. We're going to put the brake caliper on it, and then we're going to put the check ball and the spring in. More to come. Okay, guys. Now, I let it tack up, put the case on. It was a little hinky. Pulled it off just a little bit, pushed it on. I'm very satisfied. I would be really scared if I put one on and it fit absolutely perfectly and didn't have a problem going on. It's just me. I'm paranoid like that. The transmission is in neutral. The input spins nicely. Let me grab these guys and turn them, and they turn. And if I turn one, the other one turns. So that is good. I like how it's going. You start out, you know, you do kind of a cross torquing pattern. There's actually a set pattern they recommend. It's in the manual. I don't know it. I didn't do it. I should have done it, I guess. Bad daring. But what I've done is started with center and snugged it down. Started putting them in the corners, and then these guys tighten them all up uniformly, and then start cross torquing. So we'll get this guy back on. I'm not going to put this in today. We're going to let it sit. I'm going to let everything sit and cure, and pray to the transaxle gods. Okay, more guys. Everything is all good. It's on here nicely. My hands are so greasy. I hate to touch this camera. See if I can get y'all a little bit adjusted. We're going to put this check ball in. Now you see there is that yellow fill plug right there. That's a shifter. That's where the check ball is going to go. Now you might have noticed when I did when I had this off, the shifter fan here, I put a little bead of grease all the way across it. So I'm going to drop that in there. This is the spring. And what this does, say you shift from first to second gear. This is a plug with an Allen head recess. It's 3/16. Say you shift from first to second gear and you're tuking along. You don't shift out of gear. The check ball and the spring hold the fan in place in the gear you selected. So you're riding along, you shift from first to second, and you stay in second gear. If you didn't have this, what could happen? Well, you could go from, you're bouncing along, and it could go from, you bump it accidentally, and it'll go from second to fifth, or something like that. So this is good to have. We're putting it back in place. Like I said, we greased it all really good. I'm going to snug her down there. Actually, I'm going to back off a little bit. Right there. That's pretty good. Just below the surface of the case. This guy's finished. I got to put the brakes on. I need to find another screw that fits on here because for some reason one is lost. Okay, guys, now we're back. More to come, guys. All that's left is the brake caliper. I have cleaned the little pistons, and I have gone ahead and put grease on them to hold them in place. The disc brake, this is a really large disc brake, I went ahead and put it on the grinder and just rolled it around for a minute or two. Not really to thin it, but just to take the glaze off of it, because it had, well, you know, you've seen them 20 years old and they have like one edge is black and the other is yellow from all the grass and all the other crap that's accumulated on it. So this is pretty much a fresh surface. It's about as fresh and new as I'm going to get on this guy. So we're going to put it on. I found the other bolts, so we're going to put this guy on. We're going to be done with it, because I'm sick of doing transaxle videos. Okay guys, the disc brake is on. This guy's finished. We're going to let it sit and cure. Then we're going to work on it tomorrow. The next thing we're going to have to do is raise this body. So, be thinking on that. I would love to put a small rubber block in between all of this to just help cushion everything, but I can't have a lot of flex forward, if you know what I mean. If I have it real nice and spongy and I have the belt on, when I engage and disengage, it will pull it. I don't want to pull it so much that it will cause a problem with the belt. So I guess what I could do is get a rubber block and some longer bolts. I can do that. That will you know, that could change the center of gravity drastically. Or I could lift the pan here. Probably going to end up cutting these guys and flaring them out anyway. I really don't want to cut the pan. I want it to look like a Murray riding mower. That's kind of why I do it. Otherwise, I'd just buy a I'd buy a nice Can-Am. But I want it to look like a riding mower. So, got some ideas and some thoughts. Let me know what you guys think. I mean, it won't be anything terrible we're going to have to do to it. Probably easiest way would just be to put some blocks on it and raise it up, or put a little bit more metal in there and raise it up. That's about it for me. I'm about to sneeze. I'll wrap this up real quick. Y'all gonna make some mayhem. Anybody you hate, send this video to them.